Ladies and gentlemen, as we've stated in multiple videos, we are mere days away from Wrestlemania. And the week of Wrestlemania, you don't get a lot of in-ring action because everyone's saving their energy for Mania. Mm-hmm. So, with that being said, we're going to do something a little different this week. Usually we have the midweek wrap-up, and then we have the Smackdown Rundown. But this week, we're going to have a mashup. We're going to have main event, NXT, Lucha Underground, and Smackdown in the last exit on the road to WrestleMania featuring Lucha Underground. So, yeah, I mean, hey, it makes sense. Lucha Underground's in California. WrestleMania's in California. Granted, they're probably nowhere near each other, but hey.
So awesome. Well, especially now, because San Jose is, like, north end of the Bay, and Lucha Underground's in, like, close to Holly, like, really south.
Yeah.
This is super exciting. The road to WrestleMania starts all the way back at the Royal Rumble. And as much as it doesn't seem like it's a long time ago, because it's not, really. It's only, like,
2 months.
2 months ago. It's such a slow burn.
Yes.
You know, you anticipate what's going to happen at WrestleMania, because WrestleMania is that big show every year, and all sorts of crazy shit happens. And now, this is it. We've turned off the road to WrestleMania. We are now off the highways and byways, and we are coming down the street to freaking Levi Stadium.
Yeah, we are currently 8.5 hours away before we'll be on a plane to California to go to Mania.
Yeah.
This is exciting. So let's start this off with main event like we usually do on the midweek wrap-up.
Yeah, this is like getting right off the turnpike.
Yep, this is...
gotta stop and get some gas.
Yeah, and we're gonna do that with Fandango taking on Heath Slater.
I'm gonna use this match to reinforce what I was saying about last week's main event.
Okay.
Main event, the place to go to watch all the guys who are awesomely talented who don't get featured on Raw.
Yeah, this is Heath Slater's first singles match since his return. He was in that tag team bit that they did.
Him and Curtis Axel.
Yeah, him and Curtis Axel. I think it was a title or a tag team turmoil of some kind. But this was his first singles match that we've seen since his return. You know, they've got Fandango, who's wavering between a babyface and a heel.
They keep leaning more towards the good guy side.
But this crowd was very pro Slater, and these two fucking brought it. It was
Yes.
a very good match. I mean, you don't get a lot from these guys on the regular because there's so many other people that are on the card higher than them.
Yeah,
but
it's one of those refreshing matches to watch too, because
this is a pairing you see very often.
And you know, you can't knock any of the main roster guys. Your Dolph Zigglers, your Daniel Bryans, your Bray Wyatts, your Rusevs, Rollins, Orton, Cena, any of these guys who are doing the main roster shtick every week, week in and week out.
Yeah.
No taking away from anything these guys do, but you know, there's only so many times in a week that I can enjoy Daniel Bryan's running knee. You know, there's only so many times in a month that I can get a kick out of Rusev doing a funny promo because he's got a weird accent. You know, and it's one of those things where, you know, these guys need to be bumped up every now and again to give us a breath of fresh air.
Yeah.
You know, give these guys 3 minutes to bust their ass. Because, you know, the only times that these guys get called up onto, like, the Raws and Smackdowns is usually to lose to one of these other guys that's on every week.
Yeah.
Rusev. So, you know, I want to see some more Adam Rose, Zack Ryder, Heath Slater, Fandangos, everywhere.
Yeah, and these two guys...
Everywhere.
These two guys are both trying to get a little bit of an advantage. They're going into the Andre Battle Royal this Sunday. We got, you know, both of them kind of taking turns looking out at the trophy. Fandango ends up getting the win after hanging Heath Slater up on the ropes. Heath Slater kind of going for a superplex. Ends up turning around into Fandango's favor. Hangs him up on the ropes. Goes up for the last dance. Strikes a Young Bucks pose and hits the last dance on Heath Slater, getting the win.
I want to know the story behind this.
I knew as soon as I saw it, I was like,
I'm excited.
Kevin Owens gonna say something.
It's exciting. I like it because I'm a huge Young Bucks fan. Big on the Bullet Club. Too sweet me. Alright, so yeah, I want to know if this was like a friendly shout out or maybe he was calling the Young Bucks out. Who knows? I'm hoping if that's the case. Come on, let's see Young Bucks to the WWE. But not until after King of Trios.
And then in our main event, we had Naomi taking on Alicia Fox. This was a very basic match. I think these two girls could definitely do more. Maybe in a number one contenders match on SmackDown down the line. Sometime after we have the Paige and AJ versus the Bellas at Mania. Maybe building up a couple more divas. I think Naomi will probably be going over, especially if Nikki stays champion. But Naomi ends up getting the win with a slingshot roll up after a little altercation on the outside. Naomi pulls off her cool little springboard sunset flip thing that she started doing last week.
Yeah, there's nothing blatantly wrong about this match.
No, not at all.
And it's definitely a pairing of two of the most athletic females on the roster.
Most definitely.
So, I might make fun of Alicia Fox for having a big forehead. 5-head, if you call it that. But she's definitely, over the tenure of her career, has become one of the most improved female wrestlers ever.
And how can you hate on that Northern Lights suplex?
You can't.
That's a beautiful suplex. So let's.
I will hate on her scissor kick though. Looks messy.
Yeah.
She was a hot mess though. All right. The main event was. I'll give it a B.
Yeah. I mean, two matches.
If we would have had a third one, it would have given it an A.
Yeah. There's a lot of recap and build up to Mania in these shows, so that's why we're kind of smashing them together. But let's pull off to the side. Let's take a little break from the road to WrestleMania. Let's visit Lucha Underground.
This is stopping to get some lunch at Denny's.
Some Lucha Underground.
I guess it would be like Don Pedro's, not Denny's.
Yeah. So we open up with Son of Havoc taking on Angelico.
Talk about a hot crowd for this match.
Yeah. Son of Havoc, his whole thing since the very first episode of Lucha Underground has been kind of a slow build. He's always kind of had the crowd on his side, even if he is playing heel.
Yeah, it's hard. It's a lot like a lot of other wrestlers. It's hard to deny talented people the respects they're given or due, M-Dog is a freaking awesome wrestler.
Absolutely.
Especially in that sort of environment like Lucha Underground where he thrives. He's a super high spots awesome dude.
Mm-hmm.
So to have him in that thing, there's no way that he wasn't going to get over at some point.
Yeah. And this has been a cool, this match was a cool culmination of a couple different storylines because we had Son of Havoc constantly losing. We had Ivelisse making fun of him and, trying to prove that, she was the dominant one in the relationship. Then you had the addition
of...
She wore
the gold see-through pants in the family.
Then you had the addition of Angelico, who was hitting on Ivelisse and making fun of Son of Havoc. And so it all culminated to this, a very, very fast-paced, high-octane match between these two. I'm going to say it right now. We made sure to mention this in his debut match. Angelico's torpedo dive over the corner.
Yes, he's got the move, like the parkour move, they call it like the saber tooth.
Yeah.
Where you plant two hands on the object in front of you and then you use it to propel yourself over. He hits that on the ring post and front flips.
Taking out Son of Havoc.
Over and lands on his goddamn feet.
And freaking out Vampiro.
Vampiro thought a dude from South Africa was going to bust his ass.
Oh my god, it was hysterical. Absolutely. I thought he got up and was just freaked out, and he's just staring at Angelico
And then he apologizes to Matt for getting up because he thought a dude from South Africa was going to beat my ass.
So good. Match ends up getting back into the ring. You've got Evilise yelling at Son of Havoc the whole time. Even Vampiro is yelling at Son of Havoc.
Yeah, Son of Havoc starts climbing up the ropes to hit a finish. Angelico also jumps up to the top and gets deposited on his cojones for his efforts.
Mm-hmm.
And he falls off. And then all of a sudden, Son of Havoc randomly has a microphone in his hand.
Well, I think that's why Vampiro jumped up and goes, "Stop wasting time! What are you doing? Stop wasting time!"
I want to know where it came from. He didn't have it in his hand, and then he did.
He's magic.
And
Son of magic.
I'm going to say this is the first time I've ever seen anybody get top rope dumped.
Yeah, it's
Did
probably...
you say that she got, like, super dumped?
Yeah.
Like, super broken up with?
This dude had a platform.
Yeah.
This is like...
He dumped Evilise, saying that she was actually the one who's responsible for holding him back from winning matches, which is true.
Yes.
And then it hits a picturesque shooting star press.
Absolutely gorgeous maneuver.
And gets a 1-2-3 over Angelico.
Son of Havoc getting his very first win in Lucha
Celebrates in
Underground.
the audience.
Yes, he does.
He's accepted by the masses. He is no longer a Rudo. He is Technico all the way.
Awesome. And then we get our first backstage segment where Dario Cueto is welcoming a new member to Lucha Underground. We're getting little views of tattoos. He's saying, Dario's like, I know you're a very well-known star. You have a lot of potential, and here in Lucha Underground you won't be held back in a tag team. Camera pans up. Hernandez, formerly of TNA, LAX, all that stuff in TNA, is officially in Lucha Underground, and Dario Cueto is giving him a front row seat to the main event of tonight's Lucha Underground when Prince Puma defends the Lucha Underground Championship against Cage.
Yeah, and I want to take this time out to go that no, Dario was not taking a shot at Homicide.
No.
I think
that was when LAX was good.
Well, that's the thing, is like, that was LAX.
Yeah.
A lot of people don't realize that the shitty part of Hernandez and TNA was like the Latin American nation.
Yeah, it was like they tried to reform LAX with him and Chavo, and then they brought in Sarita, Rosita, and then the other two dudes that I didn't freaking know.
Yeah. But yeah, they called themselves like the nation, like they're the Latin nation.
Yeah.
Not the LAX.
Mm-hmm.
And it was basically, Hernandez teaming with these two guys, and they weren't like really ever together really much at the same time.
No.
Because I remember one of them was there and then like got released and replaced with the other one.
Yes.
I
can't remember which one it was.
I don't even remember their names.
I don't either.
One of them's like Sangria.
Yeah, this is like
Blood.
Blood something, yeah.
But yeah, it's, you can say Hernandez was held back in the tag team, but he's freaking a great athlete.
Yeah. I'm excited to see him in Lucha Underground because we know that with how big he is, he can move really fast.
Yeah, knowing that he's already got a vested interest in the Puma versus Cage because of his relationship with Conan.
Yeah, he actually has a run-in with them later while Puma's kind of getting ready for the match.
I'm really excited at the prospect of Hernandez versus Cage.
Ooh, that could be good. But before we get there, we have our first of two title matches. We have Alberto El Patron defending the AAA Mega Championship against Tejano in a bull rope match.
I'm going to be a little bit honest. I was a little surprised that they went with the AAA first.
Yeah.
Because this is definitely like the championship belt that means like the most in frickin' Lucha Libre.
Yeah.
The AAA Mega Championship. But then I thought, it's good. Because that proves that Lucha Underground does not value the AAA title over its own.
Yeah, and I appreciated that. It's like, hey, yes, you are a part of the AAA promotion, but this is your show. It's we're not gonna overshadow your superstars that people come in every week to watch, we're going to say, hey, this is an added bonus before you get your main event.
Mm-hmm.
And these two, holy crap!
They brought the beat down on each other.
The bull rope was super long.
Yeah.
Which I really, it definitely lent itself to some of the spots they did.
Yeah. What it was is I was really confused why it was so long, and then we found that it wasn't one of those ones where you touch the corners kind of bull rope matches. It was pin submission.
Yeah, it was strictly the fact that they were tied together at the wrist. We had Alberto use the bell on Tejano. We had
on the back of his damn head.
Yeah, fucking gnarly. We had Tejano with the power bomb through the table.
Yeah, we had the wedged chair in the corner for half the match.
Yes,
that paid off with Tejano actually putting Del Rio through it.
Yeah,
because frickin' the guy who sets it up never gets to put somebody through it. You always reverses. Frickin' they broke the mold just now. I died a little. Like I couldn't handle it.
It was a lot.
Not how it works.
Was a lot for him to handle.
Do you guys forget how wrestling works?
Well, and that was kind of my thing with the end of this because El Patron gets the win with the cross armbar over the ropes.
Yeah.
And my understanding is that, granted, there is no rope break, but a submission in the ropes doesn't usually count. But in this case, it did, and Alberto El Patron retained the Triple Mega Championship. I'm not upset with it. It was a great match. Lots of really good stuff. It was just threw me off. I was expecting a break and then something to happen in the middle of the ring.
I mean, I like it because the arm breaker is Del Rio's calling card, or El Patron, Alberto, Birdie.
It's the only Sheamus phrase that you'll ever use.
Yeah. That's his calling card, and I always thought, what way makes it look more painful when he does it than when he does it over the rope like that.
Yeah.
It makes it look super stressful. So I think it's a great way to end a match.
Absolutely.
Because, I mean, even if, super painful looking, but then you have that mindset that, Tejano even has to tap out just to be able to prolong his career.
Yes.
Because, if he tried to figure out a way out of that one, he's definitely risking injury on himself more so than he would with a normal cross arm breaker from Del Rio.
Yeah.
Or Birdie, or Patron, or Albert. Dos Caras Jr.
Then we finish off the night with the revealing of the brand new Lucha Underground Championship, where Prince Puma defends against Cage in a Boyle Heights street fight. These two beat the crap out of each other.
I got scared.
My heart.
There's the one where Puma was like standing on the ropes and Cage like just shoved him backwards.
Oh, yeah, he just hit everything on the way down.
Yeah, he like backflipped and then like landed back first on the floor.
Yeah, it's a very contrast. Size wise in this match, Cage is so freaking big, and then Puma is just he's not a small dude, but he's fit and he's
much more compact.
Yeah, it's scary watching Cage do certain things. Puma though, that shooting star. Oh, from the corner.
Off the corner.
Holy crap!
To the floor. The camera angle they had for that couldn't have been more perfect.
It was. I almost had my heart.
You had a heart attack.
My heart almost jumped out of my chest because.
You watch your cholesterol level.
I should. I'm not gonna do that. Cage is on the outside, and you see Puma up on the top rope, and then he steps up to the post and hits the shooting star. Absolutely beautiful. The camera looking like from the ground, you just see Puma come straight at your face.
And that was followed not that far along by the 450 to the outside through the table.
Yes, holy crap! Puma
putting all the risks out for this one.
You know, Conan ends up getting involved. He gets thrown into the metal railing they've got there.
Yeah, Hernandez has a beef with Cage.
Yeah, because he's
Because of
friends
this.
with Conan.
And that ends up playing a part at the end of the match.
Yeah, we have. So the end comes. We have Puma goes for the 630 and misses, and then we have Cage.
That's a lot of momentum coming down.
Yes,
Missing.
that's terrifying. And then Cage, being the cocky heel, kind of gets in Hernandez's face, calling him out, saying stuff that gets Hernandez to stand up. He gets up on the apron. Cage is distracted. Conan has gotten back up. He's got his new metal cane. Whacks Cage in the back. Hernandez gets
like
down.
in the neck.
Yeah.
Even like at the side of the neck.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Ow.
Luckily, he's got like 8 pounds of muscle there.
Yeah. Cage goes down from the blow. Puma gets back up to the top rope, hits the 630 again, hits it, and retains the Lucha Underground Championship.
Well done, Puma.
Yeah, this was...
No titles changing hand on this episode of Lucha Underground.
Not at all. Yeah, another great Lucha Underground show.
And this one was hot coming off the heels of the coffin match between Phoenix and Muertes.
Yes, absolutely.
Which was hot coming off the heels of the Cuerno Mundo cage match.
Yes.
So we've had 3 super solid, awesome, exciting Lucha Undergrounds in a row. Other things to look forward to, too, is we still have more of the Aerostar Drago Best of 5.
Yeah, we got match number 4 coming up probably next week, I would imagine.
I hope so.
We're going to see the face run of Son of Havoc.
Yeah. Hernandez in Lucha Underground.
And we still don't know where Black Lotus is. She was abducted, and she's with some masked man that we are not aware of. So we'll have to see where that goes. Let's move on to NXT. Another show that we're going to get to enjoy.
This is like picking somebody up on the way.
Yeah.
This
like,
is like
hey,
the last
you're going to Mania too, right? All right,
hop in the car.
Yeah, jump in.
We're almost there, but hop in.
And we're going to open up with a women's championship match. Sasha Banks defending against Alexa Bliss.
Yeah, Alexa Bliss is a great revitalizing kick to the Divas division. Not just NXT, but WWE as a whole.
Yes.
Because she really does... I lump most of the female wrestlers into 2 different categories, where you get, like, your super well put together... I guess 3 categories, but I try and ignore the last one. You get your super well put together, very capable wrestlers.
Yes.
Like Natty, Paige, Naomi. And then you get your like model-esque girls who put in a lot of effort to try and be good wrestlers.
The Bellas.
The Bellas, a lot of things like, a lot of people who, despite the fact that they start out this way, they end up transgressing into the first one, my first group people,
Mm-hmm.
Your Trish Stratus's, Sasha Banks, stuff like this. You get, those girls, and then you get your crappy ones, let's just be honest. There is
Eva Marie, Tony. Eva Marie.
There is a heap of poop at the bottom there.
Eva Marie.
Where you get your Eva Marie's, Rosa Mendez,
Maurice.
Carmella.
Ugh. Yeah.
Maurice had the hot pin going for her, though.
That's true.
So I got excited when Maurice came out.
Yeah.
Alexa Bliss, like, doesn't fit into any of the 2 first categories.
She's very much her own kind of deal.
Because she's so lucha libre influenced, it seems like.
Yeah,
It's
she
because of her small stature makes her way more adept to flying around and being fast and flipping and rolling and tumbling. That it really breaks the pattern of the wrestling that you see, like, on NXT, Charlotte and Bayley and Becky and Sasha who wrestle. and they're doing moves, and they're like suplexing and throwing and punching and kicking and jumping, where you get her and she's like Hurricane Rana and head scissors and freaking the Code Red and moonsaulting with the knees and
lots of arm
cartwheel
draws.
splash.
Yeah, different pinning combinations, and she's all over the place, and I feel like this match was great despite a few miscues, and I think it's Alexa is trying so hard to be at that Sasha, Bayley, Charlotte, Becky level that we've been so used to the last 6 months of NXT.
She might be psyching herself out a little bit.
Yeah, and she's trying so hard, and I appreciate that. She is not a bad wrestler by any stretch of the imagination. She's very good in the ring. It's just she's trying to get ahead of herself, and being thrown into this match with Sasha, her match last week, it was shorter last week, but this title match specifically, she was trying to have that impactful moment. She was trying to reach that level, and she didn't quite hit it just because she, like you said, she psyched herself out, and she was the victim of a few little screw ups throughout the match.
Yeah, and I don't want to take away anything from anyone in this next thought about Alexa Bliss that I'm about to say is, but in her most recent set of matches, because she was part of that inaugural women's championship tournament.
Yeah.
And beat Alicia Fox and lost to Charlotte. But since her time off and then back, she's only had 2 opponents. Carmella and Sasha. And, I'm going to say that those 2 out of all the NXT are probably the weakest competitors in the NXT women's division. Because it's not a super big roster.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, Becky, Bayley, and Charlotte are all stronger competitors than Sasha is.
I agree.
And Sasha is the smallest out of the 4 main event divas that they have on NXT.
And Alexa's even smaller than she is.
So, I think a lot of the stuff that Alexa wants to pull off is better suited for her to be going against somebody slightly larger and slightly more experienced than Sasha Banks.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, the match itself was still very well done. Alexa, really trying to get all these different types of moves off. She hit the Code Red really well in the corner. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, she tried to go to the top rope to hit the Sparkle Splash. Sasha was able to get up, grab her by the arm, take her down, and immediately hop over into the bank statement, causing Alexa Bliss to tap out.
Yeah, my favorite thing about this match, too, is Bliss puts in what feels like a sense of urgency.
Yes.
She's trying to pin her every chance she gets.
Yeah.
Which is, it's one of those things that a lot of times matches lack, is that, here's my opportunity, I'm going for the championship, I should be trying to pin every single chance I get.
But instead I'm going to go for another move.
Yeah.
We had a couple of backstage segments. We had Emma talking to Bayley, really reiterating the fact that she's being too nice. She's letting the NXT universe dictate what she does. Bayley tries to defend.
Well, yeah, she starts going on a motivational speech.
Yeah, she's like, no, the
crowd,
the universe. Yeah, they got me. They got me the number 1 contendership twice. They've done a lot for me, and before she can say any more, Emma slaps the shit out of her.
Yeah. Emma. Why are you being a bitch? I know you have a record now, but this doesn't mean you have to act hard.
She served hard time for that 2 hours that she was booked and then fired and then brought back.
Yeah.
It changed her.
Yeah,
she's not the same Emma.
She's a hardened woman now. It's that one time that WWE did that backstage thing with Adam Rose and Santino that didn't have Emma in it. They didn't let her be in it, and that forever.
You know what?
She's like, I'm gonna dash dreams from now on. My dreams were dashed because I wanted to be in a Twisted Tea commercial on Raw.
We had the Dubstep Cowboys, the NXT Tag Team Champions, apologizing to Carmella for what happened last week when she inadvertently got knocked off the apron. They bought her jewelry.
Oh, yeah, a really pretty bracelet.
And she loved it, but Cass and Enzo were like, that's fake. Should have gone to Jared's, bro.
Yeah, this is definitely, I think, a little more mind games. Obviously, you could come at the point that, as awkward as it is, it's both guys, like, hitting on the same girl.
Yes.
Which is kind of awkward.
See, and I don't necessarily think they're hitting on her, more so as they're trying to get under...
Yeah, no, that's the underlying thing here. But, what I'm saying here is, obviously, if you're presented the option in real life to try and hit on a girl who's as attractive as Carmella is, because as much as I will dump all over her wrestling abilities,
she's gorgeous.
She's very pretty. So yeah, freaking A, buy that woman a bracelet. If you know any woman that hot, buy her a bracelet.
If you like, you put a ring on it.
But yeah, I think, really the underlying motive here is to maybe make Enzo and Cass feel inadequate. Like, hey, why aren't... she had that moment, like, why don't you guys ever buy me anything? It's like, hey, they're, she's like, they could be like, oh crap, we'd never get her anything. Now they feel bad. So it's kind of a double whammy. They're mad that the freaking Team Thick is getting involved in things, and then they also have to look at themselves and go, oh, we feel bad now because we never get this. We never get our manager anything nice.
She's out there risking her life.
But Carmella, don't get over your head. They got you a job at WWE.
But that was after they cost her her first job. Cass and Enzo don't have a very good track record with Carmella right now.
No. Team Thick, you guys, you should bring that up as fuel for the feud.
Yeah. And then we had Tyler Breeze
talking about Hideo Itami.
Talking about how he, oh yeah, I beat Hideo Itami and now I don't have to worry about it. And then Hideo comes in and goes, oh, but remember, I beat you also. So next week, I'm challenging you to a 2 out of 3 falls match.
Me against you.
You and me. And he walks away. Tyler's like, I didn't say yes. I love Tyler. Tyler Breeze's character is just so much fun to watch.
And it gets, like, more and more polished.
Yeah.
Every week.
Yeah, he's getting better at being gorgeous.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, he's got channeling his inner Derek Zoolander down to a science.
It's really going to help when Zoolander 2 comes out. He's going to be all over that shit.
God. Yeah. Can we get a freaking fast forward on Zoolander 2 work here?
Oh, it's on its way now.
I know, but we need to fast forward on it because it's been on its way for like 5 years.
That's true. And then we had a interview from both competitors going to our main event.
Yeah, Owens was earlier in the day.
Yeah.
Balor's was like right towards the end of the show.
Owens pretty much saying, Finn has this demon, and he can bring the demon. It doesn't matter because no one's taking the championship from me or my family.
Yeah, and he said like Finn better bring the demon because otherwise he doesn't have a chance.
Yeah, and then Balor saying he doesn't need the demon to beat Kevin Owens, and he's going to prove that later.
Yeah, I think a lot of that was going into mind games, sort of.
Yes.
Basically, Kevin Owens is calling out Finn, and Finn is saying, no, you can call me out, but I'm going to do what I want. I'm not going to pander to you like Sami Zayn did, Adrian Neville did, William Regal did. Mm-hmm. Everyone gives Kevin Owens what he wants because he's such a badass. But I'm Finn Balor. I'm equally as bad of an ass, and I'm going to say, you know what? You ain't getting the demon.
Yeah. And
Kevin Owens wants the demon.
And yeah, these two fucking went at it. It was a great slow burn. We had Kevin Owens immediately playing the heel card, rolling out, taking his time,
Much like
walking
his other
around.
matches.
Then we got the slow, real just hard hitting back and forth. Who could top each other. But then the tide really turned when Finn went for a knee in the corner. Owens moved and Finn hit his knee really hard on the middle turnbuckle.
He hit the leg also on the ramp early in the match.
Right,
and a spot on the outside.
Yeah.
He landed on the same leg.
Yeah.
So he hits his knee there, and then Owens has a bullseye kind of pinpoint target that he can go after.
Yeah, he goes for the big stiff kicks, goes for the chop block.
He tries to cannonball it.
He
does cannonball it.
Before that, he does his senton onto the leg, which I thought was a great addition to working over the leg. Finn starts to get a comeback. He hits the sling blade, hits a couple double stomps out of nowhere, and eventually hits the coup de grace. But because of the knee, he's unable to really capitalize and get the pin. He works his way over. Unfortunately, this gives Kevin Owens enough time to recoup, get up, and as Finn charges at him, throws him up for the pop-up powerbomb, and Kevin Owens retains the NXT Championship.
Yeah, so, bad luck for Balor this go-around.
Yeah.
But I'm definitely saying that this isn't going to be their only tussle for the title.
Oh, yeah. It's going to happen again, and if this match was as good as it was, I'm super excited for the next one. This is normally where we'd stop, but we're going to keep on going.
Yep.
We're going to hit the last little rest stop before WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. This is getting into the parking garage.
Yeah, we are. We're
looking for a parking space.
Yeah, we're finding our spot here. We're gonna open up with a fatal 4-way match. One member from each of the teams going into the tag team title match at the WrestleMania pre-show. We have Fernando, Big E, Jey Uso, and Cesaro in a fatal 4-way match. I'm gonna let you take this one. You watched it twice. I know a few spots, but...
Yeah, this was awesome. WWE, I'm starting to think that you guys don't do fatal 4-way matches enough. Or if you do, you're not using the right people. I'm hoping that the tag team title match has the same feel as this match does.
Yeah,
They were given a really short period of time. This match was only about 6 minutes.
Yeah.
For being 4 guys involved.
Yeah, absolutely.
And yeah, it was a lot of everyone got to shine, which is super important in a match like this. And it seems to be kind of the theme going into Mania at this point is they're really trying to, and this is going to be the first time I've said this in a long time, it really seems like they're trying to keep it in the dark who's slated to win everything.
Yeah,
they're doing a really good job of keeping all the storylines even. So, everyone had such awesome high spots in this match. Cesaro had his cool little spinning Fernando around, and then he was able to slingshot him in the Oos, and then drop him back and slingshot him again to force a headbutt onto Big E.
That was the fact that he was able to use the slingshot for so many different...
Twice. Two different uses for the slingshot.
Yeah.
And none of it the traditional one.
Yeah.
With the dive steal, because we were slated to get the ever popular Uso headfirst dive to the outside, but Fernando said no and drop kicked him and dove himself, but then got dove on anyways.
By
because
Uso?
you don't steal an Uso dive. Either one of them, you try and steal the Usos dive, and they will dive on you after you dove.
Yes.
And we had a great little spot that involved everyone trying to get back in the ring. And it was Cesaro and Big E were tussling on the ring, and first was Jimmy or Jay? I thought it was Jimmy.
It was Jimmy.
Jimmy gets up and starts tussling with Cesaro. And he gets knocked down, and then Big E gets up, and he gets knocked down, and Fernando gets up, and Cesaro's going for that second rope superplex back into the ring that he does, And as he's doing it, like Fernando's starting to fight out of it, and Jimmy Uso runs over and joins Cesaro on the second rope, and they hook a double superplex on Fernando. And as they're like lifting him up, like Big E grabs them around the waist, and they do like basically a double back suplex into superplex, and got a huge pop.
Yeah, especially from all the people at ringside. Everyone's sidekicks, everyone's cornermen were all like, "Whoa, let's go! What happened?" And yeah, that was a really epic spot. And can you imagine if we're gonna get like an 8-person like Tower of Doom spot?
Yeah, that would be rad.
Mania? That would be awesome.
Excited at the prospect. Also, we had a spot of like finisher exchange idea. Cesaro ends up getting the advantage after the Tower of Doom spot, and he sets up like he's going to give Big E the neutralizer.
Yeah.
Then Fernando runs up and gives him the backcracker from behind, which then he pops up from the backcracker and gets swung over Big E's shoulder for the big ending, and Big E gets hit with a super kick, and that drops into the big ending, which is really cool. Jimmy backdrops Fernando out of the ring, goes to the top rope, hits the Superfly Splash on Cesaro, making that look at Cesaro and Kid like, hey, you know, the Usos are going to get their titles back. Pow hits the splash, 1, 2, 3. Jimmy going in with some advantage, but we know that Jay's got the shoulder injury.
Yes. Don't expect... I'm not expecting a lot of work from Jay on Sunday just because, the Usos spot at Mania was in question, whether or not his shoulder was good to go. But it is Mania season. He stated on Raw, it's WrestleMania, so the Usos are going to be ready because you can't afford to not be ready. But expect to be seeing more of Jimmy as opposed to Jay.
Mm-hmm.
And then before we get to our main event, we had a little Divas promo spot where we kind of had a recap of what happened
on Raw
between AJ and Paige. AJ comes out talking about how she's been everything on WWE, but she's trying to fix things with Paige as far as what happened on Raw.
And Paige comes out and says basically like, yeah, okay, you're right. We would stand a better chance against the Bellas if we were a functioning team. But how do I know I can trust you?
That was my favorite part. Was AJ says, because I hate losing. I'm not gonna turn it because I don't like to lose, and we can't let the Kardashians win.
Yeah, she hit that thing. That was the one really common factor between AJ and Paige is neither of them want a loss in the WrestleMania column because it doesn't get bigger than the WrestleMania win-loss column.
Yeah, and this is Paige's first WrestleMania.
Mm-hmm. This is almost exactly 1 year to the day of her debut.
Yeah.
So, the pressure's on to perform, and before they can get really, really buddy, Paige, says, okay, fine, you know what, we will be able to beat them, but let's put frenemies aside and become a tag team.
Yes.
How long has it been since we've had a actual diva tag team?
Other than the Bellas?
Yeah, I mean, the Bellas are sisters, so that doesn't really count as a tag team.
I think the
Funkadactyls didn't count because one of them can't wrestle worth a shit.
I think the last one was the Divas of Doom. Natty and Beth.
Yeah, the Divas of Doom / Lay Cool.
Yeah.
Them. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's been a long time since we've had a tag team.
An official tag team. So let's hope that maybe we're gonna start seeing diva tag teams.
That'd be awesome.
Especially because you have there are a handful of divas on NXT,
and
at any point,
Natty and Charlotte.
At any point, Charlotte, I think Charlotte and Bayley are both ready to be called up at a moment's notice.
Oh, okay.
Because they're both right.
So a rookie tag team.
And not even them together as a tag team, but they're right on the cusp of being called up. Emma is down there, and we know she's had time on the main roster. So, any of these three going up there, you could pair them off with anyone else on the roster. Make some sort of good feel-good tag team with Bayley and frickin' Naomi or something.
Based on personality, I'd like to see Alicia Fox and Sasha.
There you go.
That'd be a cool tag team.
I'm going to make one request to WWE. When you bring her up to the main roster, do not pair Sasha with Cameron. Just don't. Or I will kick somebody in the dick.
He keeps kicking him in the dick. And you know exactly why. So, yeah, like you were saying, just before they're able to put their differences aside, shake hands, Bellas come out, they start talking trash, saying, oh, you guys want to come out here and act all buddy-buddy, but, Paige, you're just as crazy as AJ, and, let's face it, everybody wants to be a Bella. Nobody wants, nobody wants, divas like you on the roster. There's a reason I'm the champion, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, AJ comes back with the sarcastic, you're right, we do. We want to be just like you guys. And Paige follows it up with, you know what, just kidding. We're glad to be the strange freakos.
Yeah, the freaks, the women, the geeks,
nerds,
the
weirdos.
outcasts. Yeah.
I love that.
Yes, and that's exactly why we like them, is because they're different from the stereotypical diva.
Yeah.
And they let them know that, or AJ finishes their side off with, and at WrestleMania we're gonna kick your ass, and then we have Nikki come back with, all right, well we'll see you bitches at WrestleMania.
Yeah.
So it was a good diva promo spot.
We'll bleep that out.
Yeah. I
God forbid they say bitches.
I know. They used up their cuss word by saying ass.
Oh shit.
AJ stole it from Nikki. So yeah, good diva promo spot, building up their tag team match at Mania. But we finished off with a big 8-man tag match.
John Cena, Daniel Bryan, Mark Henry, and Roman Reigns versus the Authorities, Seth Rollins, Kane, and Big Show, teaming with Bray Wyatt.
Yeah, Bray Wyatt definitely the outcast as far as this group of guys.
Well, I mean, looking at it, there's really no clashing of stories going on here.
Which is great.
Because you have Daniel Bryan from the Intercontinental Ladder match. Mm-hmm. Cena's going against Rusev. Wyatt's going against Taker. Reigns is going for the title. The only common factor really you have is Big Show and Kane and Mark Henry being in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
But there's not like a huge storyline thing going in there between them.
No.
So this is basically being heading into WrestleMania weekend with basically a WWE All-Stars tag team match.
Yeah. A great way to finish off the week. We started the match with Reigns and Rollins going against each other, which is something that we've seen a few times, and it's the Shield is still kind of a sore spot for some people. So we got them fighting a little bit. We had the monster clash between Mark Henry and Big Show.
Yeah. Well, Reigns started and he tried to fight all 4 members of the opposing team himself.
Yeah. The commentators were like yelling, like, you need to tag out. You've got 3 other people over there.
Yeah, and that's the moment that Roman Reigns was trying to say, hey, I can help. It's one of those things like trying to prove himself that he can go against Lesnar by going against everyone else.
Yeah.
Because if you combine Bray Wyatt, Big Show, Kane, and Seth Rollins together, you get Brock Lesnar. Or a really ugly 8-armed mutant person.
I'm going to go with that one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that sounds like Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Doesn't have 8 arms.
Yeah. The Big Show Mark Henry bit was awesome. Cena got in there for a while. Daniel Bryan got a hot tag.
Okay, you were alluding earlier when we can't remember. We were talking about Raw, I think.
Yeah.
And you were alluding to the
because I was thinking of the ladder match build-up that they did.
Yes.
And for some reason I was thinking, 2 guys got hurt. And it was Cena.
I saw that too.
When he gave the AA to the Big Show.
Yeah, he immediately grabbed his shoulder.
Yeah, shoulder favor.
And because you finish off the match with a huge, like, everyone does their finisher to Big Show, setting up for Daniel Bryan to hit the running knee. And when Cena...
Friggin' Mark Henry's avalanche in the corner was the fastest I've seen Mark Henry move in the last 5 years.
And it was a beastly avalanche. And, he got the Superman punch, and then he got the avalanche in the corner, got the AA, and that's what set him up to get hit with the running knee by Bryan. Bryan getting the pin on Big Show.
It's not the first time he's beaten Big Show.
No, but it still looks funny. But Cena grabbing at his shoulder was a little unnerving. Yeah,
at first too, I was like, holy crap, I hope Cena didn't, like, overstrain the previous, like, shoulder pectoral injury that kept him off the shelf for a while.
Mm-hmm.
Then I went back to, shoulder, neck, he had the previous neck injury that took him off for a while. And then I started thinking about it, and I was thinking, it does actually play into the Accolade.
True, yeah. On Raw, we had the whole beatdown of John Cena.
Because the Accolade, the camel clutch move works on your back and your shoulders basically simultaneously. It stretches out your whole pectoral shoulder region and puts a lot of strain in your back.
Yeah, because your arms are directly behind you when being
draped over somebody's knees.
So maybe that was just really good subtle selling from Cena.
That's what my hope is.
And maybe we'll see that be mentioned on commentary on Sunday. Maybe we'll see that played into a bit more during that match at Mania.
Yeah, as much garbage as I might spew sometimes about Cena, or any wrestler in general, I hope he's not hurt.
Yeah.
Because that's the one thing is that, be it a wrestler I like or dislike, I don't like seeing any of them actually legitimately injured.
Yeah, it sucks to see someone get hurt, especially when they're doing something that they enjoy and something that some people may enjoy watching them do, regardless of who it is. But yeah, this was... You had a thought?
Yeah. Can I make a last-minute change to my WrestleMania predictions? Since this is going to be our closing video for the week.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah, I'm really going to go out on a limb here. Because Thomas really went out on a big limb for his pick who's going to win the Honor of the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Yes.
And I went with Curtis Axel with the thought that, they've been doing a lot of fun build-up with the Axelmania gimmick. And, that would be a cool payoff. And then it hit me. The obvious choice. And it's so unobvious that it's obvious. And this is that's why it hit me. Is that it's hidden in plain not sight.
Okay.
Out of sight, out of mind. If you could say. My new pick, I'm going off of Axel to win the Honor of the Giant Memorial Battle Royal.
Alright, so no Axel.
No Axel. I'm making an official change right now.
Alright.
You guys hear it. Bo Dallas. Bo Dallas has been working house shows. What would be a better time to make your return to the main roster than on WrestleMania? And win a 20-person over-the-top Battle Royal.
We'll have to wait and see, because the next video we do, as a group, obviously.
That's the four of us?
The four?
Yeah, Travis Colt, Thomas Wolfe, Kevin Hawk, and the dude Tabor who sits behind the camera that edits the matches.
Well,
Videos. Videos about matches. I'm tired. Shut up.
Well, he doesn't get involved in the discussion.
No, but he's here.
All right. Well, okay.
And occasionally, you guys don't know, but we constantly have other people here with us that you don't hear because we force them to be quiet.
Yeah. No, the next time...
And the ghost of Stonewall Jackson.
Is he still here?
Yeah.
Jesus. Well, the next time that the three of us usually do a video, we'll be reviewing WrestleMania.
Yeah.
We'll
then Raw.
We might do a Raw review from our hotel since we're going to be there.
Yeah.
But maybe we'll wait. We'll have to wait and see. But yeah, the next time you see all of us, it'll be post-WrestleMania. So be sure to comment down in the description. Don't comment in the description because you can't do that. Comment in the comments below the description about who you think is going to win at WrestleMania, what you thought about the Lucha Underground, the NXT title matches, the couple matches on SmackDown, main event, what do you think about Raw, and who do you think is going to win at WrestleMania?
Also, I also like to take a second out to talk about real quick the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
We got a lot of awesome people being inducted to the Hall of Fame this year. A big class.
Yeah, it is.
You know, obviously the highlight right now being Randy Savage, having Kevin Nash announced this week, and then you have like the Bushwhackers, Alundra Blaze, and of course Connor the Crusher being the first recipient of the Ultimate Warrior Award.
Yeah.
Rikishi. One of the cool things is go onto WWE's YouTube page. Triple H at Access Thursday unveiled a Ultimate Warrior statue at Access in, you know, basically honoring of the Warrior Award. Unveiled a life-size Warrior statue. It might have been a little bit bigger than life-size. And he had Warrior's widow and 2 children in attendance when they did it.
Cool.
It was really awesome. Very touching moment.
And they announced that not only will Connor be receiving the Warrior Award, but it'll be presented to his family by Daniel Bryan.
Yeah.
Which is really cool. Enjoy WrestleMania. We know we will because we're going to be there. It's going to be a fucking awesome weekend. We will see you next week for episode 42 when we have WrestleMania results, fallout from WrestleMania. Thomas' top 5. So yeah,
March
don't
March's
listen
top 5.
Yeah. So and then this is going to be the big reset for WWE. This is where new feuds start happening. We're gonna
get that Heroes theme. The Heroes theme is gonna be the start here.
Yep. So be sure to go through the playlist, watch the rest of episode 41, enjoy, like, favorite, subscribe. Thank you to all of you that have already liked and subscribed to our various channels, pages, and all that fun stuff. Enjoy WrestleMania, and we'll see you next week.